afternoon. Oh, hi. Sorry, I got distracted by the internet for a little bit there. What time do you call this? This is 6-ish. Actually, I was trying to... I was checking to see if there was the... audio or voice only files for Slice of Life. You know, actually I don't care. I'm just gonna leave it like that. Because sorry, I still my cough is lingering. The part right here, I needed to speak. I was like, well, it could, because if I try to pull something from, say, Doctor Who or something, your audio is going to be with background music and all this other stuff and trying to clear that out. But if I take from episode 100, there's a nifty little website called, that's this resource materials for, originally from Team Fortress 2 mods, but it has the audio where they have the voices separated. It's, I think, utilizing a 7.1 surround sound that allows you to separate it. But they only have up to, I think, season 5. So I was like, they have Slice of Life? Yeah, they actually do. It was episode 9 of season 5. So, so I was like, well, I could try taking that, and if I could find... if the doctor's audio there has something that's usable. I haven't actually checked to see if there's anything actually considered usable, but I have to. I have to play through it. But yeah, so I was like browsing that, and then I looked and like, oh crap, it's after 6. So, but yeah, this is a pretty nifty resource to have if all you care about is up through season 5 anyway. Because though I think it says at the end here, or I don't know, it was at the beginning. Yeah, so it says here how to do it. So if you take a 5.1 audio encoding and then you import it, mix left and right channels in a single track, reduce the track by 20 decibels, and invert the waveform. So it's like weird, they tell you how to actually do it. So, but you need to actually purchase the video because it has to be bought, the actual file for it. Anyway, nifty little resource. I have a folder full of just a couple different ones that are nice. So I don't know actually what audio to use. So I'm not going to go browsing through a 24-minute audio file. I'm trying to figure out what audio to pull. I'm probably going to pull a transcript and read from there. I do actually own some. Like, what do I own? I own a lot of Doctor Who. Let's see, 11, 10, 9, 8. It's just weird because season's not an 8. Anyways, I own season 1, 2, and half of 4. I think I bought these originally because that was when I started watching, and it was easier to just do it that way. I don't know why I only bought the last half of season 4. I'm not sure. But I started buying Doctor Who because I was originally paying like $70 a month for television so that I could watch it live. And then I realized that if you buy it on like Google Play, you can watch it the day after it airs. And then you're paying like $40 for the whole season instead of like $70 a month. Anyway, plus I can go back anytime and watch it. I just realized that this is actually very well done backward zoom because like I don't even see his neck moving almost at all. Or no, this is forward and pull out. Anyway, I don't know what part of this I want to work on, because I still don't really have any idea on this part. I want to try to do that over the next week, because I have a little bit of time.
Now, fire the rocket!
I wonder,
Now,
this one might not be that hard to lip sync.
this will be frickin' sick!
Though I think I think for this scene I actually want to grab the newer models, because he's yelling and the mouth flexes work a lot better on the ones, because otherwise the most I can open the mouths on these is that, and it's the mouth opening. The one thing I don't like about it is it's like it doesn't just hinge from this point, it actually like shifts downwards, and which isn't always the best, but the jawbone lets you actually move things the way that a human jaw would anyway. Oh, reminiscence. So I'm gonna bring in a better looking Twilight, but that requires conversion. Yeah, that worked fine. So Twilight. So that's the current. I want just enhanced. I don't need. Where's the enhanced? Am I blind? It's just, oh, it's because it's a Twilight Alicorn. That's gross Twilight. Don't eat your tail. Okay, so this one has the fancy stuff. Yes. It's all the fancy. Okay. So this is going to be like, actually, there's a difference in how the color that textures are being worked. There's a lot more shine on this one compared to this one, so I might need to copy over some of those values to make sure she looks. Well, actually, for this area, probably not going to matter too much. Yeah, it only has an effect on the other shot. This one's makes it look fine. So all I really need to do is get the glasses over and the coat. Can I do the glasses? I don't think I can do. I have a pair of glasses, but the software keeps wanting me to uninstall it. Which just worries me, because DeviantArt is great where you can download stuff, you have it, and you never have to worry about it, but Workshop, if somebody wants to pull it from that area, it keeps telling you to uninstall it, and if you accidentally click yes, you just lose it. I actually had helped out Warhorse the other day, because one thing I keep a track or thing of is backup zips. So anytime I download a model, I throw the actual zip file in here. So he had a model that the user deleted their account, so therefore there was no longer a downloaded version of it, and voila, I was able to pull it up and give it to him. So that's why I don't delete those. Okay, those are tier 2. I thought there was just a pair of those. It might be under sunglass. There we go. I think these are the same thing. Oh, it's not bone merged. Yeah, they're the same thing. It's just that they have different opacities. Because if I can use this instead, it'd make it easier. So let's call this glasses. And oh, I locked it the wrong twilight. That's why I did that. So this one, I want. Okay, so I'm gonna rename this. This is gonna be coat, because that's all I'm gonna be using it for. And this is going to be Twilight Sporkle. Okay, that's not how glasses work. Nice thing about doing it like this too is I am able to animate them. Ah, see, now she's just cool. That's pretty cool. I don't know how this works. Just oh no, her hair is different on this one. No, I have to take more. Damn. I thought I could just cheat with this hair. Okay, well this is gonna be coat and hair. Damn. Nice thing about the updated models is that you can do this. Don't actually want eyebrow. Well, I'm not going to bother with them right now. Okay, so a couple things that need to be fixed. Is there a different horn on this? This one seems... it's probably just because the hair is there. I need to get the eyes converted. I think I'm just using the mid right now. Yeah. So her eyes are located Alt Twilight model, okay. So we need eyeball. No. I have a medium. Nope. Getting into some edgy stuff now. Alright, actually. There. So iris, I need to do pupil left. No, she's on drugs now. Medium there. I have to make sure that those two match. Otherwise, if suddenly she had different eyes, it'd be weird. These I think are identical, but nope. The little light in the corner is different positioning. I think these are the same. No, the ones she had are the same. Maybe. No, like, so I'm just replacing the things that I need to replace. So, like, I need to match her eyes up. her hair, because of the uniqueness of the hair, I have to bring that over too. The eyelashes are the same. The tail is the same, but and I'll keep that from the original model. Normally I would say, like, well, if I'm doing one for the hair, it's easier just to do both, then they're all in one place, but nah. Does she... Oh no, okay. I want to make sure I wasn't cutting to something else. So, anyway, and the other reason oh no, her hair is going to still make it. By keeping the glasses separate, I was hoping that I didn't have to utilize her head in there, because I can't hide the eyes without destroying the other shots, so I didn't want to sink the head backwards, or I have to sink the head backwards to hide the eyes. And normally that would cause the glasses to go too far back, so that's why I need to do these ones. And just to make sure this is... Yeah, this is locked. Just rock it out. This is what drugs do, kids. It's drugs and sunglasses. I want to get the correct values from one glass to the other for this. So I don't even care. Oh no, not that one. I don't care, but I need the right folder. Not that one either. There we go. Oh no, he's utilizing the other one. I need the one that's specific to this one. Oh, it's good. That's why it's not working. I gotta grab this one. Okay, so glasses lens. It is utilizing these values, while the sunglasses problem is now I legitimately can't click no or the missed button at the beginning, or I'm gonna get a big error in her head. So what's the difference in values? Ooh, there's quite a few. Well, I'm just gonna modify this. So alpha, why is alpha 1? We know it's 1. It's visible. Whatever. I'll get rid of it. I don't need it. Yellow, light warp texture. Yep, let's use default. Translucent, rim light. Translucent I need. Rim light I don't. Cloak pass enabled. Nope, don't care. All of these I don't care about either. Why is it an animated texture numbers? It's sunglasses. And then I want to bring in these. Just make sure I'm consistent. Let's see what happens. Because before you've seen last live stream, listed in a certain model for your project. Oh, the throne model, that is like, I don't know if I can share that one. It just happens to be a model I had and I was using for a non-public purpose. But it was made for something specific long ago that never came to fruition. So because of that, it's not mine. And well, it kind of is, but it's not. because of that, I would be, until I actually potentially had a use for it and I used it for a purpose that it had been originally requested, it doesn't feel right to share it yet. So I've had that model for, oh, god damn it didn't work, for a long time. I think I have another way to do this if it's not gonna, to get at least a good approximation. So yeah. We're going to see if we can do 0.7. Oh, that's not going to work. This is lightening things. This is darkening. So, whoa. Actually, yeah, I forgot about that part. I think I might have an idea. Or at least what's going on. Let's view your alpha channel. So this has a gray bit. Okay. Keep that open. And lenses is separate. Yeah, these are definitely being treated very differently. Because there is no separation of them, this is darkening. I can't cause it to lighten or create a, well, maybe. Maybe. Yeah, the one I used for the fanfic. I used it because it was what I needed for that time, but the original need or request for it was from years ago for a specific video idea that I never ended up using. And it's one of the reasons that I don't tend to request models, because I change what I do often, and I feel like kind of an asshole if I request and get something like that and then the ideas and times change. So so we need to put this in the other folder. No, this is sunglasses. I have the right folder. I think, being that this is a black texture and its alpha channel is set to show it a little bit, because white means allow it all to go through, and this means to allow most of it to go through, which would or no, this is opaque, and this is yeah. So I think if I just change those black circles to white and then play with the alpha, I might be able to make it work, at least in equivalent sense. So I can't get it to match exactly, but it'd be pretty close. Photoshop open quicker. Anyway, let's fix this. There. In the meantime, I don't want to merge the two models because I need to see the transparency of this before I play with it too much. Okay. Okay, so I need to do white. Let's see if I can. Ugh, that's kind of rough. Oh, that's pretty good. Do that. Okay. So that would make that white. I think I'm just going to have to save it and see how it goes. Let me check something. This says thinking. I think these are the same thing, but they don't have lenses. Yeah, I think these don't have lenses, and if that's the case, then this is different than this. Because this one, she actually does have lenses. So this is the only way to do it. Okay, so that did not work how I wanted it to. Or did I mess something up? Base texture. I messed the thing up. Did I import the wrong one? Nope, I did the right one. So right now it's just black. I think would be purely transparent. Unless I am looking at these wrong. We'll check with this. It's testing. Okay, so nothing changed, which tells me that those four are not actually the lenses. That something else is. Which I'm gonna... No, because... if it's not, then it has to be one of these ones. Alright, so we'll do those. I thought for a second there was no other transparency. And I will say that, yeah, some of this is complex, but when you do it long enough, anything is simple. So I've just been doing this for so long that to me it's pretty much second nature. So essentially the glasses are becoming darker. So, and they're doing it because the alpha layer here, which is telling us everything that's visible. So this is it's like a color scale for visibility. And it's saying white is the texture is 100% visible, black meaning that it is completely invisible. So by going in the middle there is where you make transparency. And so it's saying that these grayish areas are slightly opaque. So they're going to be mainly dark, while the glasses are black, which if this was like the glasses around it, it would mean that if that was purely white across, it would just be pure black. So I want it to be like this, slightly lighter, like a grayish, not a bright or not a darker color. So I need to change the color to white so that this is lighter than instead of darker. At least that's the intent. Did I save that? I did. And there's a lot of different screens going on here too that I don't care about most of it. Like, I don't care about all this stuff right now. I'm just gonna skip over it. Go to save the glasses. And the override's already there, so I just need to reload and see if it affects. It's probably gonna be too bright or not at all. You know, that could be nothing too. I feel like I'm being trolled here. Because it has to be one of those. It's semi-transparent. Why must they be stupid? Because no matter what I change, if I change the texture in some way or another, it should change something. Which means to me that what I am changing is not actually having an effect on it. Which isn't making any sense to me. I might just say F it and go with the other method. I'm just afraid the glasses aren't going to work. Yeah. Well, I might have a way to get around it. We'll see. Let's try doing it the other way and see if it works. So I just need to merge these two. Alright, so I'm going to merge them, but I do not want... I'm going to use the original tail. So for this one, I want to unlock the tail and stuff. And actually I'm going to add a scale and just get rid of it. This one I can't disable the tail. The wings are closed, but again, these don't really need... this one's oh, the closed in the way. I'm like, is that a tighter wing? Whatever. So I'm gonna unlock those. I'm gonna go with these closed as well, and we're gonna hide them. I think I'm actually gonna hide her ears too. Oh, I can't hide her ears yet. I bet you they're part of the jiggles. Yep, they are. Oh, okay. I don't want any facial stuff. Well, I'll keep it on there. It's only one lock. Head, transforming legs, pelvis, neck. Okay. Both sides of the glasses mesh. I'm not sure. Because this is just completely invisible. I don't even care about that side. But it seems weird that they have it set up that way. And it's easy to make it so that it works on both sides, but in this case it's not going to help me too much right now. Like I said, I should be able to make the other one work. It's just less convenient. Okay, so then this one, I need to select anything I want to have brought over. So I'm going to say these, all the legs, these 4. Merge it in, oh. She's actually already animated though. Kind of. You call that animating. Yeah, I'm just gonna wipe it. Oh wait, we're gonna wipe it to this point. Okay, so actually, I'm going to do some of this beforehand. So we're going to go and hide some of these textures I don't want to have duplicated. One being body. This is where things get really weird really quick. It's a little bit weird. I also want to hide her horn. Her teeth and her tongue. So by adding a value of alpha, it defaults to 0, which is invisible, so that's why I don't worry about the rest. Eyelashes, I don't want on there either. Anything that's on the other model. The only thing I can't get rid of is the eyes. Alpha does not work on eyes. The only way to get rid of them is to actually modify the actual file by converting it to a texture that I can use alpha on. But in doing so, I would be modifying the eyes for all the other Twilights that I already have. So that's where I brought up before that I have to move the head backwards. The clothing clipping. I think I might have accidentally locked it to something else. Look at Alex, right? Yeah, I think I accidentally dragged it onto something else. Okay, so that's there, and so this is where I said the eyes are going to be a problem. So I need to take this head, and normally to fix it is just to move it back a teeny bit, like that. So it looks like the glasses are fine. They already are pretty close to the nose gap, so I thought by doing that they might start clipping. So she has essentially 2 sets of eyes inside of her head then. But this is a way to just convert any model to the enhanced versions if you don't have it. Oh, hi Avery, how's it going? I don't want that. I want like this Twilight.
Now fire the rocket. Hypothesis.
Ah, I was like, I didn't see the computer panel there. I thought it was broken. Nope, yeah, I know. I remember you. Don't worry about it. That was a good weekend, besides the getting the flu part. I've still got the cough from that. It's still lingering. Yeah, at least you got back home. Yeah, I think a lot of people got something from there. It's fine. I don't mind a lingering cough. It's a little annoying, but it's worse things. So I think that's converted now.
Hypothesis. This will be frickin' sick.
Just zooming on her blank stare. Whatever. I think actually the thing that sucked the most, well, and it was good, was I originally was supposed to take a work trip to New York as soon as I got back on Wednesday night to go out there for training. Well, I got the flu, so I was able to weasel out of it. But at the same time, now I had to submit an expense report for charges that were uncancelable for a trip I didn't take, which just made things a little bit of a headache. But that's okay, because my last day at the job is tomorrow. Alright, I think before I animate, I'm going to work on the lip sync. Gonna mute me. We blurred a lack of blah. Okay. Also, all that just to make it so I can get lip syncing done.
Now fire the rocket. Hypothesis. This will be frickin' sick. Now fire the rocket.
I think I can steal the word rocket.
Navigation. Surgery. Rocket science. Rocket science.
Yeah, I can kind of steal a rocket, but I don't know if it's going to be that great of a...
Rocket science. Rocket science.
I might as well give it a shot. Oh, no, I can't, because this is a different model. I have to redo it all. Oh.
Now
Yeah, I don't like all the models are named different. But that was the point. I switched from a previous shot using the Nakas to the enhanced one, so I could, because this part.
frickin' sick. This will be frickin' sick.
I probably should get the audio up a little bit there. No, there it is. I thought I could set volume there. Okay, wait. That's not right. Oh, there we go. It was just locked into a lower volume. Okay.
Assist. Assist.
I hate lip syncing so much.
Now. Now.
I keep wanting to like stream different games, but every time I go to do it, I just end up not because streaming is exhausting, and I already do it like 8 hours a week, and I feel like also like when I go to play something, I just want to relax and just do whatever. When streaming, it's a whole different thing. So I end up not. Like originally, we were going to stream Divinity Original Sin 2, and I kind of forgot about it because it was super funny when me and one of my other friends was playing it. Now we're doing a 4-player run through, but it's so infrequent when we're all available, being adults and stuff. Got to do adult things. I'm not used to using these enhanced flexes. Ooh, if I want to get the... There we go. A little bit more O in there.
Now. Now.
Speed that part of the out, or part of the end was up a little bit. This is gonna be better.
Now. 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 Now.
Yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take the middle here, and we're going to, is it hold? No, release.
Now. 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 Now.
Still want to stick that a little bit back here, but there.
Now. Now. Now.
Yeah, I have to do lip syncing first. I can't do any movement first. I feel like there's too many subtleties of movement that depend on the facial and the speaking that it's hello Travis. That it's just too difficult to do animating without the lip syncing first. Though I do stand the risk of accidentally overriding it, so I normally like actually when I was looking at that previous one. Is why I have one called base lip sync that I'll separate the lip sync out in a separate model, so in case I accidentally do something to destroy it, I may have a way to get it back. Why are you so big?
Now. 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 Now.
So this needs to be a good th. It's going to be a very exaggerated th. Keep that as it is. So it's not going to be... It might be a B. I don't really see an angry version of it being that way though. What if I put angriness in there? No, not that one. I think I'm gonna have to actually grab the mouth bone because I see an angry one being the bottom teeth going in front of the, or at least being more equal with it. But then the bottom lip has to be higher, which is going to be. Let's see, going up, going up. Oh, that actually might be a. I have to be careful though, because this is such a slow.
Now, fire
It takes a little twitch of the eye there.
Oh.
Now, it looks actually it might just be. I think this could work. I'm just gonna have to bring that jaw back. Oh, I don't like it from the front though. Got angriness.
now. Now.
I'm gonna keep it as it is, and I'm probably gonna have to go back and correct it though. Yeah, I hate lip sync so much. I have. That's why a lot like the only shots that are left here are ones that usually have lip syncing. So
I
her,
got an idea for a rocket
the
navigation
amount of
system,
talking
but I
here
need-
is just stupid. This I'm gonna have him say something. But a lot of these other ones, like I did it for this
Now
shot,
grab the brain.
but it was because it was a small amount. This one had a bit.
Brain. Woo! Now put the brain on this rocket.
I'm not 100% happy with it, but it's
Now
using
put
the
the
old
brain on
models.
this rocket.
Actually, I think I need to go back there and just.
Brain on this rocket. Brain on this. Brain on.
I can see where to fix it right here.
On this. On this rocket. Brain on this rocket.
It helped a bit.
Brain on this.
I think I need to remove the angry from this one.
Brain on this rocket. On
Lip sync is. I keep going back to stuff all the time because it just never works out.
rocket. 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 This rocket. Woo! Got a brain. Woo! Now put the brain on this rocket. Brain. Woo! Now
Glad
put
this
the brain
isn't
on
finished
this
though.
rocket.
Actually, those.
Woo! You got a brain. Woo!
Yeah, I haven't done the eye for that. It's yellow, not green for a reason. Let's leave that as it is though. An email? Yeah, my email is just my name at Gmail.
Now fire the rocket.
Lip syncing is something that just absolutely is horrid. Like, in the... I think my first attempt at lip syncing was the party video. There's a remake of the show, which is great because it actually helped me learn lip syncing by using an example from the show. What was that one called again? I always forget. Something about party for a bear, but I always forget what I call it. There it is. Excuses.
This afternoon.
This is my first attempt at lip syncing.
That's it. This afternoon.
So it's very much just about opening and closing in pucker. Very simple.
It's a big house.
But I learned a lot from it, so. But I think this video I was like about a month into working on SFM. I'm sure, like, where's her bounce here? Just noticing that. It's super cheap. Like, I didn't even bend the legs. She's just like... But this whole thing was done without keyframing. Because I had no idea what I was doing.
That's strange. I know just about every pony around here. He's a bear? He's a bear. A bear? A bear? A bear? A bear? A bear?
So... But I learned a lot from that. I mean, yeah, it turned out pretty good, but it was because I was copying the show. I was able to look at each shot and say, okay, well, her head bounced to the left, so I just did the same thing. But then I'm like, well, okay, but this just looks like a slide to the left, so I'm like, okay, well, I'll use a bounce, and that's when I started using bouncing and stuff. So copying helps for learning. For sure, I did a lot of that early on.
Now fire the...
You don't have to worry yourself on all these minor details. All you have to do is say, it looks like this, how do I make mine look like that too?
Now now
I don't want to do that. So fire. I'm gonna go. For a lot of these ones where it's big open, I like to do skip the open part, go to the closed part, because the open part normally has to be like split in two, because it's not just open close. It's usually like open with a pullback and then close with a forward or something. Alright, yeah, I can look at it later. Yeah, that's when I was starting out too. I didn't like where's the one that's like stupid old? This one. Look how bad this is. Like I didn't know how to lock jiggle bones. I did like the quality is low. This I took I think like 6 hours on a snow day from work. I had no idea what I was doing, but I learned a lot from it. So, but I didn't care about lighting. I didn't care about any other details. All I was learning was camera control and animation. That was it. Those were my goals. But there's been other ones where my focus has been like playing with particle effects. Like I didn't care about the animation. I was just trying to see what I could do with particle effects and, well, I guess lighting a little bit. It's super simple and kind of stupid, but I learned some particle stuff. There have been a couple where I've been focusing on like lighting work. Destiny was definitely a very much a lighting one. This one was a lot about lighting too, but also just some fancy and like trying to get some fancy camera work stuff. But God, when did I make this? Yeah, that's 5 years ago. But yeah, just pick something to focus on, to learn and improve on, and don't worry about the rest. Oh, it actually looks pretty good right there. Look down a little bit though. Ooh, not the way I wanted to though. I'd probably put the jaw forward at the end. It's probably gonna be a quick close. Gonna be some pullback. I needed more of... So this is where the jaw bit's going to be a problem. And actually I should have selected the jaw first. Okay, the jaw I'm going to do that last. This is fun. Alright, it's going to be mainly open, probably a bit of shout. Actually, probably more shout, less open. What if I get angry in there? Angry and less shout. I think I'm just going to start throwing things down there and merging it all together with what works. This went back too quick, so we're going to get rid of some of the stretch. No, I'll probably just get rid of some of the shout. Actually, shout might work. don't think I'm liking that at all. She needs to be more open. And this is where comes in handy, because I have to. I think part way in here I have to close the mouth a little bit. It's not that bad there. I gotta make more tutorial. I had plenty of ideas for some. I just have not had the willingness to do them, because they take time. They take like a whole evening to make. A 10-minute tutorial still takes a whole evening. I gotta build whatever I need to do to make it, plan it out, record it, edit the audio to clean it up, get the whole thing finished, make a picture for it. It's like a whole thing. And lately it's been like, work's been hectic, and now I'm changing jobs next week, so then that's going to be more hectic, especially since I got to figure out what my stream schedule is going to be, because right now I work like essentially 8 to 4, 8:30 to 4:30, but at the new job I work 9-hour days during the week, so that's, I don't know what my schedule's going to be. So I get every other Friday off though, so.
Now.
That actually could work. I don't really like this part. This is there's so much blending of noises here. Because she says fire the rocket. It's not like fire the rocket. It's all blended into one. It's hard to tell. Yeah, I'll play with that when I'm done. Get a lot of emotion and extra stuff to that if you turn the jaw. I'm almost tempted to skip the part and go right to the rocket, just because I think it's going to be hard to try to blend that in without the beginning and end.
Now.
Okay, I'm going to cheat this a little bit. I don't like us doing the bottom lip there. Just doing that. That makes it worse. That actually might help. Yeah, a little bit. Just the blank stare forward is kind of disconcerting. But that's probably the one causing that. That's fine. A little bit more teeth. Yeah, I think I put too much in there. Lips are going too far out. Food. Alright, yeah, see you later. I think I'm gonna have this come up into the back, so I might have to change the part before it. Which means I'm gonna put a little bit of shout, or keep a little bit of shout. A little close, and let's keep the mouth open. What is shout, isn't it? Yeah. Just a little bit of shout.
Remember when you said together till the end, we would stay together, chasing down forever. Yet here I stand alone on this broken road, searching for my shadow, the pieces scattered. Every broken promise made makes me strive to push through pain. And I will fight the darkness with all the light I have within. Every page before this time, now erased from my mind. I'll rewrite my weakness into strength. Stronger than before. Through all your lies spoken, I remain unbroken, stronger than before. You left me lost at sea.
Fire the rocket!
Crash over
Fire the rocket!
the trail made me capsize. I didn't think I'd survive. I fought the perfect storm. Now I am reborn. The wind and rain seem endless, but my courage is relentless.
Fire the rocket!
Every broken promise made makes me strive to push through pain. And I will fight the darkness with all the light I have within. Every page before this time,
Rocket!
now
Fire the rocket!
erased from my
Fire the rocket!
mind. I rewrite my weakness into strength. Though my memory's haunted, my hope remains undaunted, stronger than before. Through all your lies spoken, I remain unbroken, stronger than before.
Now fire the rocket! Now fire the rocket!
Okay, it's gotta get done there. So in here is going to be an open. It's going to be pretty minor compared to the other ones, though. Okay, so then this one's going to be closed a bit more. A little more whistle in there. Any early bits here, I'm gonna remove the grin. But I'm gonna have it lead into a lot of teeth. That's pretty good. No, still gotta do some tongue and lip control, but
Now fire the rocket!
lip sync always looks way better on the side. But I keep doing front shots. It's actually the reason when I do a lot of the Rathalos shorts have Rathalos at an angle because the lip syncing doesn't or breaks down completely from the front. So if I have him speak to the camera, it does not look good. But if it speaks next to the camera, it looks actually pretty good.
Now fire the rocket!
So this is why I wanted the updated model. God, I hate lip syncing so much, though. I'm gonna take a break from lip syncing. I want to get her pre-set up for her positioning here. She is floating. So I was gonna have her walking up, but I have to be careful because she doesn't actually have like a floor. It's kind of down here. So if I have her sliding up or walking up, and I have to be careful too because this shot then doesn't show any extra steppy. Well, with how it's positioned, it could be implied that there is, and that the shot before was at a lower angle, or just that nobody will notice and I can get away with anything. So if I go with the nobody will notice, how do I ensure that she can get up there? So when I have her come from the side, if I have her come from behind the podium, she'll be at a lower angle compared to the camera, and it'll be even harder. Could act like she's stepping up on something at this point. But even if I did that, she's going to be hiding on the corner of it. I could just say F it and like doesn't fit 100% with the later shot, but it does. Yeah, it makes that a lot easier. Not as big of a step up.
Now, fire the rocket!
Oh, I thought like you were saying I was not projecting audio for a bit there. I'm like, oh.
Now,
So this is, oh, it's actually hard to tell. I don't think it. No, I guess a little bit. You can tell that it's well, it's all blurred, so it'll be fine.
opposites. This will be frickin' sick!
Also, I haven't decided if I'm going to stream or not on Friday yet. I put on there that I'm not, just in case, but if I do, it's going to be earlier. It really depends, because I had some coworkers I was going to go, old coworkers, mail their job. I was going to go hang with potentially to Thursday, but they are going to be, or one of them wasn't going to be there Thursday, so I thought about doing it Friday instead, but now there's talk about going to a bar or something on Thursday night, so I don't know.
This will be now fire the rocket!
Okay, so now I can have her step up pretty easily on that, or at least make it work. I think I might just do a slide for now, just to get the well, yeah, it's gonna be a lot of motion to get it to work.
Now,
Okay, so she'll be the one I use for lip sync. Then I don't have to worry about going, oops, to the other one.
now,
Okay, so I am lazy when it comes to motion, so I'm gonna go the lazy route with this. Wait, no, I did that right. Where's Takio's? There it is. I don't know why I find that funny. She's like angry at her own face.
oh. Fire the rocket! Now, fire the rocket!
It might be a bit fast.
Now, fire the rocket!
I'll keep it as it is for what I need. It looks good to me, so that's why I thought I was. That's why I wanted to see it. Then Ryan Reynolds is a good actor. But we'll have to see how he does the voice. But okay, so I got the walk loaded. But I'm gonna try to figure out the final resting position.
Now.
I wanted it to be that she kind of, in walking, kind of hits that final bit right about that time that she says the fire bit. So I'm gonna say that she should be around here. I'm not gonna have her turned like all the way in though. I could keep her root at least semi-consistent here. So I'll do this. Try a little bit more. Then have... Where's your butt? There's your butt. I have my doubts on whether it could be good or not too, but like the one thing I like is that they didn't just go and make a live action Pokemon that is like trying to fit into our world or one. It's in a Pokemon world, and it's staying true to the characters, and I feel that they're not focusing on what originally Pokemon was, and because then you're going to be fighting like all the meta and all that stuff. No, they like just went a completely different route with it, which I like. So the detective part, I think, was just a neat way to blend it into a real world setting. But we'll see. It's not as... It was easier to get tickets for that than Endgame, for sure. I went to go buy Endgame tickets like 6 days ahead of the date, and I had to struggle to find seats, and like Pikachu was a week before that, and I had like there was open seats all day for day of release. Well, Endgame was the essentially a week after release. So. I've seen Endgame. I have seen that now. Oh, the buttons. I actually don't need the buttons on here. I thought it was good. I really did enjoy it. I'm gonna keep it spoiler free, but I mean, there was some inconsistencies that I could see in it, but it's gonna be hard to go without spoilers though. Because even like because I watched Because Science, they basically spoiled it just in the end there without saying it was gonna be a spoiler. But I think at this point, being over a week and a half from release, it's assumed that you probably could have had the time to do it, and if you really cared, you would have probably done it. No, I thought it was a good movie that didn't focus on any individual character too much. That it gave everybody screen time and to where they could equally be given. No, I'm not saying these spoilers. I'm just saying general stuff about the way I thought of it. I thought it was a fitting closure to everything, where like you could feel that because Captain Marvel had come out just beforehand, that Captain Marvel was going to come in and save the day, and that was kind of a worry. But no, it wasn't, where Marvel was given as much screen time as anybody else, and there was a balance. The only person I feel that got more screen time than normal was probably Ant-Man, but that's because in all the others, he kind of was just a side note, and in here, he was it actually balanced with everybody else. So, so it was, I think, the cool part about it was just seeing everything come together in one big movie. For a 3-hour movie, it went really fast.
Now,
I would, yeah, I did like how they allowed each character their own time. But I would recommend, like, I think that you could get away with not seeing Captain Marvel. But Ant-Man is definitely one that I would say is a necessity. Or without it, you'll lose a lot of context. But Captain Marvel, as long as you know that she exists, that's it. Like, there's only like one small a bit of info that was like 5 seconds long that you might miss, but it was just whatever. Her character, I feel you could build within the context. But Ant-Man, we ended up watching that like last Friday after stream, and I'm glad that I did, because otherwise I would have missed out on a lot of stuff or been very confused. I have actually. I think it's funny is yeah, that's I guess the thing too is most first character movies are all introduction. Like, think of the first Iron Man. He didn't actually get the traditional Iron Man costume until like 2/3 of the movie. Or well, I never saw Iron Man 1 and 2. Not Iron Man. Thor. I haven't seen Ant-Man's first movie, but in the first movie was a lot of introduction stuff, so I knew that as long as you know who he is and what his background is, you'd know most of the movie. But so in Ant-Man and the Wasp, they can focus on storytelling, which makes it a much better movie to me. Marvel movies are the only ones I know of that you can guarantee a sequel is going to be better than the first, just because they can skip over all that introductory stuff. Or the introductory stuff they are giving is for smaller characters that don't matter as much.
fire the rocket! Fire the rocket! Hypothesis? This will be frickin' sick! Fire the rocket! Now, fire! Now, fire the rocket!
I don't think I want to put her arm up yet.
Oh, fire the rocket!
because she's going to be doing it at a later part. Hi, Scrub of Fire.
Fire the rocket!
I don't know how I do it sometimes, so we're not even putting there.
Fire the rocket! Hypothesis. Hypothesis. Hypothesis.
Well, legitimately, sometimes I don't know how to do it. You get good at, or I feel that sometimes just the more time you put into something, all you do is get better at guessing. So, I know that doing this and this and this isn't even worth trying at first because I've tried stuff like that before and it doesn't work. So you can jump right to the stuff that's probably going to get you a solution quicker. It's not about... So I don't feel that knowing something means that you're going to know the answer or innately know how to do something better. You're just quicker at getting to the solution.
The rocket! Hypothesis. Hypothesis.
Oh, I thought there was... Yeah, is there double movement in here? Yeah, there is. Damn it.
Hypothesis.
I probably should be marking these.
Hypothesis.
I'm just gonna grab the nose and be like, no. Why is head? It always annoys me. Head is invisible. There.
Hypothesis. This will be
Okay, I'm just gonna make her angry right now. Is she angry? So I'm probably let's go a little lower and forward a bit more. And just have her rear up. Curve her back here a little bit more. Okay, I don't like that. Let's try curving her a bit more to the side. See if I can do one thing here.
I'll be frickin' sick!
I'm just kind of doing a rough version of it. Once I get a better idea of it, I can go into more detail of it.
I'll be frickin' sick! Frickin' sick!
Okay, your head is there. Neck is there. I think I need to offset this a bit.
We'll be frickin' sick!
So don't 100% like that angle.
We'll be frickin' sick!
I think it's just the mouth that's bugging me right now.
Hypothesis. Hypothesis. This will be frickin' sick! Hypothesis. This will be frickin' sick!
I like that.
Frickin' sick! 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 Sick!
With the mouth opening, it actually works a lot better.
Hypothesis. Hypothesis. This will be frickin' sick!
And I can probably steal from this. Oh, kind of. This is actually pretty far off from what I had, so I have to readjust. Oh, the eyes don't copy too. That was part of it. Oh. Okay, wait a minute. I forgot I can do this too. Other thing enhanced models have that are nice.
Now fire the rocket! Hypothesis, this will be frickin' sick! And sick! And sick! Frickin' sick! Be frickin' This will be frickin' sick! Will be frickin' sick!
I almost just like this face right there. This Hi Dirks.
This
There's a flex that's delayed or something here. There it is. It didn't go with.
This will be frickin' sick!
There we go. This quality this is quality.
Frickin' sick! Frickin' sick!
I don't know if that's quite quality yet. It's rough keyframe.
Sick! Science! Fire the rocket! Now.
Yes, top quality shit. Skeptical Twilight is skeptical. I like it. That's good. Well, this is keyframes are always gonna look poor. The whole final keyframes should actually look pretty good. Early keyframes, which is what this is, should look pretty poor. Right now, I'm just trying to get an idea as to what direction am I going in and what am I looking for in the animation. Once I know that, then I can start solidifying. I don't want to put a whole bunch of time into keyframing positions that then just don't work out once I put the whole thing in context. So I just want to go pretty rough right now and then clean it up. So like now I can probably grab some of the walk bits from here. We're just going to we'll probably just do this rough too. Okay, let's try this again. There we go. Oh.
Now. Now. Now.
Oh, that thing must have broken the copy. Okay. So at this position, she's fine. What I want to do then is have her kind of curve her way up there. Oh, let's use the root. Shouldn't, but oh well. So transform.
Now. Now. Now.
I think I'm a little too far forward at the end there. So I need to move everything back a little. So at least it's close. I don't need to be exact. You never stop practicing. You never stop getting better. If I were to say that I was at the pinnacle of whatever my skill can never get any better, I would get bored. I mean, what is there left to do then? At that point, all you are is a show off because you're just doing something without trying to improve yourself. So no, I think you're always practicing. It's a nonstop thing. I've been doing this for years, and I still learn something almost or every week. So. It's not the right speed, but close enough. No, so I can't see it. VMT and VTF files. What's the problem with them? Before I even got into animation, I actually understood those well, or way more than I understood SFM or animation or in anything. I did model conversions in. I actually don't like how this is going. I might have to have her looking away from this area. No, I did model conversions from OBJ to Gmod for about 2 years and stuff before I did this stuff.
Now,
Now fire the Now
Hmm.
Now fire the rocket. Hypothesis. This will be frickin'.
I wonder if I should have this panel be a little lower.
Now fire the rocket. Hypothesis. This will be frickin' sick.
Give you an example of something you're doing. It's actually, textures are, they're simple, but they have so many awkward things that can come up to just cause problems that it's just, you need to know all the ins and outs. It depends on what you're trying to do with it. If you're talking, are you talking just overrides? If you're talking just simple overriding one texture and replacing it with another, like I guess retexturing, I can show you how to do that. Like right now, I already did that like 6 times in this today. I do that one a lot. So if you're going to use overrides, you have to make sure you're not utilizing SFM 2 or with the source engine 2 for Dota engine, because the overrides don't work in that yet. And at this rate, I don't know if it'll ever will, but still, we'll see.
Now fire the rocket. Rocket. Hypothesis. 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 This will be.
That always works. Well, I can show you the way that I do it, and see if it matches up kind of with your way of doing it. Because the way it errors can depend or kind of indicate what the problem is. The way I name things usually makes things a little easier. Let me just do the one thing so I'm not forgetting what I am doing. Oh, this is, you can't actually utilize a small without overriding. Well, actually, you know what? Here we go. This was actually one I need to do right now. Because right now I'm using a different model, Twilight, with the outfit from a different model because I needed the additional facial flexes, but the model I was using didn't have those. So I used a lot of overrides to just kind of make them look the same. So in this case, it'll be similar in that I'm not using base textures. As an override, I'm actually overriding an up pupil. and in overriding a pupil, it's a slight difference. So in this case, I don't actually need to edit any textures. I'm going to be using textures within that already exist in. So I just need to like redirect. Do know that if you are, like, say you have a texture that is in your user mod, and you want to override it to a texture that is in a different game, like say it's in like Left 4 Dead 2 or Episode 2 or Half-Life 2, you can't do that. A texture, if you look at the file, this is showing what this one's location is, and this is saying that its location is in models, blah blah blah. The models folder is within the games folder. Its parent is the games folder, so it can't go backwards through a different game so you can't grab from different game folders. So you can override texture within a user mod to any other texture within a user mod, but you can't override a texture from user mod for something from TF2. If you want to do that, you have to copy that texture and put it into that games folder, which I've had to do before plenty of times. So yeah, if you need to go between games, you're gonna have to do some copy paste. That's one of the difficult parts with there's some textures you can download off the workshop, but if you're using those textures for non-workshop items, you can't use the workshop copy. You have to move it over. So in this case though, so I already have the textures existing. So if I go into the override, and I've already got an override for her, so that's why it says remove override. So I'm going to go to show an element viewer and model so that I can actually see the model's details here. So under the materials tab here, this is all your materials. So this is any of the ones you can give some kind of an override for. And you can override just about any value. The only ones you can't override, at least that I've seen, is self-illumination. The 0 and 1 toggle for it can't be you can't do an override for it. I have no idea why. So if I go under eyeball right now, oh no, not eyeball, this is a larger one. Eyeball medium. So I had overrode on the skin here, not the large and the small, but the medium. And I went to the lower quality version because the other model that I was using it, so it just made it easier. So if I go to medium, I can see that I've already added an override here of iris. And so what this override is doing is it's telling the engine to override the iris value to whatever I give it. So in this case, I gave it to the pupil left medium. So I'm going to just do this from scratch though, because I need the small. So to add in some kind of an override attribute, you have to go add attribute, and then you have to pick a type from here. Now what type you pick is going to depend on what it is that you're trying to replace. Are you replacing, is it like a 1 or a 0 value? So a toggle, like a self-illumination where it's just on or off. You could probably just use int. But float and int work just about the same, so I'd usually recommend if it's a number, just give it float. The difference between that is int has no decimal places, while float has decimal places. So in this case, I don't want to use float because I'm actually giving it a text, or I'm placing a texture, so it's going to be a text file or a text field. So that would just be string. So really, the only ones I ever use in this override are float, string, and vector3. All these other ones, I don't think I've ever used before. I think maybe matrix I've used once, but it was a rare situation. So in this case, I want to override it with the actual texture. So I'm going to go with string. It's going to say, what do you want to name it? You're going to name it whatever is in here. So in this case, I don't think I have an eye open. We're going to want to give it a... So if you're doing a normal like override of a normal base texture, you would do base texture. But in this case, I'm not doing that. I'm actually going to be overriding the iris value, which in an eye, its base texture is the white of the eye, but has a second texture, which is the actual pupil that's in the center. So this is what I want to override, and it's called iris. As soon as I do it, the eye is going to go purple. Actually, it's going to go purple if I'm in this. Okay. So the purple means I'm trying to load a texture and I'm not getting anything. It's like the default like missing texture bit. And that's because right now I'm overriding to nothing. It's trying to pull up nothing. The best way of overriding a texture is to keep the like the one you're working with in the same folder as your original, so that you don't have to worry about like the file structure or whatever. So if you're I don't have any in this one. I'm gonna Rainbow Dash. I know I have a bunch there. But keeping in the same folder, it allows you to keep. You don't have to worry about a lot of this other mumbo jumbo text field like and stuff. So like here, I have one for an Ember version of it, Ember Dirty, Glow Mask. So these are all in the same directory. So normally what I would do if I wanted to override to one that was in the same directory is just go to your material name here, copy the entire thing and paste it into the new override. It should essentially change nothing. In this case it's not, and I'll explain in a sec. But it'll just override to itself. There's no actual change. So then just go to the end of this and change this little last part. This is the actual file name. So like in this case, since I had body, I would just add to the end of it _Ember. Done. The difficult part is if you're starting to jump around to different folders, then you have to worry about the actual folders you're grabbing from. The easiest way to do that is know that all materials start from this materials folder. So user mod materials, blah, 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 blah. All materials are going to start with, and you can assume that before this is, if you look at this here, is all of this part. All of that part is what is before this point. So really, if I wanted to get the right folder, I would just go up to that point, up to the models point, and that would be my directory that I'm looking in. And then you would have to put like then / and like the actual texture name here. What I tend to do is if I'm overriding from one model to another, I'll just load up that model, give it overrides, and just copy its material name and put it in the other one. But in this case, this one's not working for me on the iris because the material name for this is the eyeball, like I mentioned. So this isn't going to be its base texture is that white of the eye. By trying to copy paste that in there, it's still confused because it's looking for an iris texture, not a white of an eye. So I need to actually put the correct name in here. To do that, I'm not going to worry about going and grabbing the actual texture. I'm going to copy it from a model that exists. And I know this model has the one I want. So I'm just going to go into this model. So show model. And go into its materials. Go into its eyeball small left. And I'm going to copy this. The texture is still going to be wrong, but at least I'm getting the whole directory. So I'm just going to copy. We're going to go back to our Twilight model here. Back to her eye small, and I'm just going to paste. Still going to be wrong, but now I've got the right directory because this is a different Twilight Sparkle model completely that I'm pulling from. So you can see that the actual directory itself, instead of pulling from this VNLMLP, whatever, it's pulling from Alt Twilight model, a different folder. So, and I know that these ones are just called, instead of eyeball, they're called pupil. And as soon as I put that in, it fixes this up. So now it's looking at the right texture. I need just the right eye, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to go to this one, add string, iris, and I'm just going to paste. And I don't want the left one, I want the right one. Whoops. There we go. Right one. So if I go to that Alt Twilight model, you can see here all the eyeballs, and I was pulling these ones. People left medium, people left small. Those are the ones. But let's say that I just wanted to give her a texture of Rainbow Dash instead of Twilight. So we'll use a base texture example. So I'm going to back out from here for a sec. So to do that, I'm just going to right-click the body. And so I just want to replace her whole body texture. And I'm going to go add attribute in string, just the same as I did for the iris. But in this case, I'm going to actually replace base texture. Now she's all purple. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that's what you were having a problem with. So now she's all purple because texture's missing. Come on. TV is turned off. There it goes. And if, so like I said, if I copy paste the material name here, voila, I'm overriding to the exact same texture. So essentially it didn't change anything. But let's go into that folder. I'm pretty sure I have some kind of extra model in here. Or extra texture. I just don't know what they are. Body Philly, no, that's just not gonna... Oh, here we go. So, like, say we have the lipstick on here. Well, like really what people call the lipstick with the lip outline. Let's say I wanted to get rid of that. So I already modified and created a texture that got rid of that. That just removed it completely. So it's in the same folder with body and body no lipstick. So if I want to change to this, all I would do then is, since I already copy pasted this, just add to the end of it. Do know that SFM has this thing with putting underscores. I think it's mainly with the shift key, where sometimes it'll try to jump out of the text. So when you go to put it in, it might like not type. But we'll do that and say no lipstick. Bam. It redirected to the texture with no lipstick. And we're good. Or I had the other one on there of no nose. So I go no nose. And this isn't... It's gone. I can't remember why I had a no nose texture. I made that in 2015, so... I think I had originally put a bump map in instead as a replacement. Anyway. Okay, she needs to smell. And if I go back to body, good. So it just makes it a lot easier if you have the textures within the same folder, because you can just copy paste from the material that's already there and then just change the end a little bit. Makes it easier. But yeah, the keeping directories together is probably the hardest part about it. No, I was pretty sure there's only a couple things that are usually the problem, and normally it's your texture's just pointing to the wrong folder, and the biggest issue is normally right here of you put the materials folder in error, or you forgot the models folder or something. That's usually where the error is. And trust me, I do it myself still. That's why I like to do this copy paste of grabbing from other ones, because if I'm hand typing it, I'm going to make a mistake. If I'm copying it from other things that are working, it's probably going to work. So yeah, I hope that helped. And you can override anything. Like right now I'm just overriding base texture, but if you want to, like another thing you can do, so I'm just going to put her back to normal here. If there's a attribute called color, so if you go vector 3 instead, so vector 3, we're going to go just hashtag the money symbol color, and she's going to be real black. And it's going to come up with a default of 000, and that's because it is right now adding on a color to her of black, of just 0, nothing. So all of her texture goes to nothing. If I change this to 111, that is her default. So that's essentially white. Color is only adding color to what already exists. So that's why by going to white, it is just going to the default, because white is the default color. But what you can do is you can kind of like subtly change hues and other things with this. So let's say that that for some reason or other, like say you have a video with Rainbow Dash and it has a sunset going. Sunset is a yellow and she is blue. They don't go that well together. So if you have a gold coated horse, you might have a much better... You're going to have a much better blend with that gold and the gold. But with Rainbow Dash, no. The blue doesn't work very well. So you can actually go in here, though, and actually change her hue to maybe work better in the shot. So let's say that for some reason for Twilight, you wanted to make her more red. Well, you could go 1, which is red, so it's RGB. Red, and then go 0.7, 0.7. And this will make her more red. So you're decreasing the green and the blue. Consequently, if you wanted to, you can make her pure red by going 100, and this will essentially just override the texture completely. So you can go 010 and make her green, or 001 and go blue. I would recommend not doing like 001 on a pony's textures, but this does work in other things. Like say the lab coat, you wanted to add a subtle hue to it. It's going to do it across the entire thing, which means that you might lose some of the contrast to it because it's just going to go blah over it with color. The cool thing too with this is you go 111, go white, but you can go above 1. So let's say that you just wanted to make her brighter. You can make her freaking glow. And so in this sense, she's not actually emitting light. It's multiplying the light that's hitting her. So while she's not really glowing, she can still have harsh shadows. If the lights are off though, she's still not going to have any definition because of because all color is doing is just multiplying the light that's hitting her. So if I did 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, I could also darken her a little bit. And I have utilized that quite a bit to where, say that you have a white model and a black model in a scene. This is some weird crap going on right here. And when you light them, no matter what scene you're in, if you have a bright scene, the white model is going to glow, but the black model is going to be very, very dark still, even with the same light hitting it. And in a very dark scene, the black model might be well lit in that shot, but then the white model might be too bright. And it's about finding this balance. So there's times where I will actually go through and actually de-brighten a model using this in some way. Maybe not like that drastic, but to go 0.9, 0.9, 0.9, a 10% reduction might be useful. If you go like 100, 100, 100, you can get like freaking glowing white. If you actually go like 0, 0, you get some... Oh, now she's angry. Buttons and stuff doing this actually comes in handy, that you can make the this is so weird. You can make the buttons glow kind of. Again, light still has to hit it, but I use the color function a lot. One of the other ways to do it is, let's say that you have a shot that has like 150 ponies in it, and all you need is filler ponies. Well, if you loaded 150 unique models, you're gonna crash. There's no this system is not going to be able to handle that many unique ones, because every new model that loads is a unique bit in memory. But if you load the same model multiple times, it isn't. I had it where I think we loaded I can't remember, it was like 400 liras, and it was chugging, but it actually did load 400 liras. But I had one shot in a video, the chemistry one. Can't play the audio because it's copyrighted. Right here, where I had to put more people in this shot all the way back here than I could actually support. So what I ended up doing was all the necessities, which was I think within about, I think from this line in, and including Pinky and them. Oh, actually, it goes back to about here. They are all unique models, and they're the ones that ate up a lot of the memory. Everybody back here, beyond here, is only 4 models, 2 male and 2 female with different hair, and all I did was change their hue using color. And by doing that, and you could even just override the texture completely, do another texture, but by doing that, all these models back here are only 4 models in memory. So I could have a lot more back there and not chug. It was the only way I could do this shot, and even the shot alone I had to make in its own save file because it took up too much memory. So that's another way that that's pretty useful. What's a do you want to know how to pulse a texture? Like let's say I'll have to go to another. Let's go to this one. So let's say that you wanted this button, like the lit area around the button. So if I actually go into this texture, you see I already have some overrides. And I think this is the blue. Okay. So first I want to figure out, is this the texture that I'm looking for? An easy way to do that is just go in, float, add the alpha, which is alpha is about transparency. So 0 alpha is considered invisible, 1 alpha is considered to be fully visible, and anything in between is considered to be semi-transparent. It doesn't work the way you're going to want to. It'll work from 0 to 9.99999, but the jump from 0.999 to 1 is, you can definitely tell it's a like snap of transparency. All the rest works pretty good. So I'm just going to put in alpha. It made it invisible. Okay, so I know that was correct. So I don't need that anymore, so I just undid it. But there's these little parts in here. I'm gonna see if I can get these to like pulse. And if I can't, I'll just make the whole thing pulse just to show you what it was gonna do. So if really quick way to jump to a texture that you want to change is go and grab the name here. So this is the name of the texture, or not the name, the material name. Copy that, then go back to your model and say show game model and explorer. That will automatically pop up a window to the model. You don't want the model. But you can see up here it goes props, models, portal 2. Okay, well Portal 2 is the game. So we'll go to Portal 2. I'm going to open up that materials folder, and then I'm just going to paste that text, that line to the end. It's not going to let me go there right now because I can't go to an actual file, so let's remove the last part of it. Bam, I'm in the folder. And then we're going to go look for that. So we got portal button blue. Portal button blue. So okay, here we go. So I'm going to open up the VMT for this. So we're going to see that it's set to self-illuminate, and it portal button blue, and lighted floor bottom results. It's already got a proxy on here, but that should be fine. So by self-illuminate means that if I shut off the lights, it's going to self-illuminate these parts. So while before with the color, light still had to hit it, these will not need light. They will self-illuminate. Light can still interact with them to make them brighter, but they will have like it's like increasing your base a little bit. But I want to open up that texture to see what that looks like. Okay. That I am not going to explain how to do because this gets a little bit more complicated. So don't learn how to do that. Okay, so how it works. Hex editing is dangerous. So and I'm guessing if I go in here that the alpha mask is going to be to the blue areas. Yep. So again, this is more advanced stuff, but this mask is telling the engine what to illuminate. So it's not to illuminate the whole thing, just certain parts of it. So the white sections on the alpha mask are just saying these are illuminate these areas, and you can see if I go back to RGB, it's going to be this blue area. It's also saying to illuminate the button a little bit too. So that's why when I have the lights off here, you can actually see the button still. But now we want to actually make this pulse, let's say. There is, and I hope I have this open or I have to go look it up again. Or at least I don't have one open. Let's see if I can Google it quick. If I can remember. Can't remember the last thing I made pulse. Proxies. There's a lot of different proxies, but there's only one that really matters. And that's right here. So, okay. So I'm going to make a proxy for this button, and I am going to first copy this, paste it. I don't want to like make a permanent change to this that I can't undo, so I'm just going to comment out this part. So this is ignored by the engine. So this proxy, I'm going to do sign, like this is saying, so it's sign, and then it says result variable, which is, and that's self-illum tint. So self-illum is going to say on or off, 1 or 0. Self-illum tint is going to be what color do you want it to be. And right now it's going to just default to 111, which is your white. So yeah, self-illum doesn't, if it doesn't work, it's usually because you need a texture in there, which seems weird. If you ever have that that problem, try adding. I'm just gonna guess this. I can probably just look it up quick. Because I had the same problem until I figured out how to actually fix it. So if you go, it's right here. Add this. Add a self-illum mask, and for the texture, make the texture whatever the base texture is. What I found is, I think depending on the how old a texture is, certain textures won't have a self-illumination work unless it has a mask for it. So just make the mask the base texture. Otherwise, just give it a white texture or something. Usually that's all it needs, and it will work. I haven't had any problems with that not working on textures that haven't worked before. The other thing that you might need to do too is sometimes Fong will prevent its use as well. That's why you can see all these values are commented out. Those little slashes are. So if Fong is on, it might not work. And also self-illumination doesn't work with transparency. So if you have a model with either the transparency or alpha test property, those two are what make things like say you have a poster with a rough edge because it's like a burnt paper, that might be using a transparency. The actual model is a perfect square, but it's using transparency on the edges. So I think if Fong normally works fine with it though, so I don't think that'll be a problem. But anyway, so back to what we're doing here. So self-illumination is on 1, and this is the one I said you can't use overrides for some stupid reason, and you can't use overrides for proxies as well. So we're going to say proxy sign, and result variable is the self-illumination. So it's saying whatever the sign function is doing, it would take the output and put it to the self-illum tint. Next, we're going to add these 3. I'm just going to copy these. Old VMTs let you get away with not using quotations. It's a good habit to be in. So this is saying sign period, min and max. So how low do you want the value to go? 0. How high do you want the value to go? 1. So from black to white, so the normal brightness, and then period is going to be essentially how fast. So this is your minimum, your maximum, and your strength. Or minimum, maximum, and speed. So if I save this now, and we're going to go back here, and we're going to reload, you should see a difference. I hope. And it's not going to pulse unless something is activated, like so that you have hit play on the bar or you are currently in the window moving around. Otherwise, it doesn't work. It will just pause the animation. Plus, you can't control it, which kind of sucks. You have the pulse to happen at an exact frame. Not going to happen. A lot of textures to reload. The one difficult part with this is if you're using a proxy, you can't override the tint anymore. It's locked out because the there we go. Yep, so you can see it now, it's pulsing. And this one is also utilizing the texture, so it's doing it. So it's not going to pulse now because I'm not clicking anything. So essentially time is frozen. But if I hit play... Oh. Like, if I hold the window here, it's easier to see. So... Yep, it is very slow. Let's speed this up. Let's put a period of 80. And if I don't want to reload all textures, so I'm gonna go. It's underneath the webcam, but let's equip this thing there. Oh, 80 is too slow. Okay, we want to go faster, so let's do a period of 1. I forgot they work that way. Alright. Yeah, there, now it's pulsing a lot faster. And you could say, I want to pulse this at a much brighter value. And again, you can't, because this is self-lim tint is a, what is it? It's a 3 values. One of these things, brain fart. And you're only passing it a single value. You can't like make it pulse 100 or anything. But if I do that, we do. Now it's much brighter. And there are other types than sine. I just did sine because that tends to be the cool one. But there are lots of other different ways to control, like sine, clamp, ramp, Gaussian noise. That's a fun one. Min, max, mean. Oh, I'm not gonna play with that one. But Gaussian noise is literally just like the. But those are actually fun and they're pretty useful. Mainly the pulse one. Like originally I learned how to do this by looking at somebody that had made crystals that had a very slow pulse to them. So the coloration that was really cool. So I just learned how to do it myself, and I have utilized that in many things before. But I do not want to keep that saved, so we're gonna get rid of that. And this this stream is recorded and on my second channel. So if you need to go and rewatch any of this, that's why normally I go fast. You can rewatch it as many times as you want. Fix that. Now it's back to normal. Overrides are super cool and probably they're absolutely my favorite thing to in SFM to utilize. I utilize the crap out of them. Because they're super powerful. That's why I never even tried SFM 2 for Dota, because it has some cool functions, but they don't have overrides, and that just killed it for me. Well, no, the whole point of me actually doing streams originally was to help people. So no, that's anytime there's this something I can help with, I'll take the time to do it. Not a problem. Don't be worried about asking questions. I only work on my video stuff because there's no question at the time. Oh, yeah, thanks. It's that one. Very fitting Rainbow Dash at the end, too. So, yeah, that one, it'll be up either tomorrow or whenever I remember to hit the button. So, otherwise, I think Twitch, you can watch it on there, too. I'm trying to think if there's any other... My first channel has a bunch of tutorials too, but I'm trying to remember if there's any other overrides that are super useful. Because you can override Fong and oh, actually, here's one thing that's kind of neat. You can make with it as you want. A float value can be animated. No, I record them locally. I immediately upload it to YouTube right after here. I have pretty fast internet, so it takes like 30 seconds to upload it. But because YouTube doesn't like the format that Open Broadcaster puts it in, it just takes usually overnight or at least a couple hours to process a stream that's a couple hours long. So it's usually by morning it's ready, but then I normally forget. Nice thing is that the app for YouTube is pretty nice on the phone, so I can pretty quickly fix it. So there is a way to animate a float value in SFM. How useful that is just depends. You can go back to like, I've been streaming for like 5 years on there. I don't know how many different float values you can make use of, but like Fong, some of the values for Fong are afloat, so you could actually like have something become wet looking live while it whatever. So hello Revan. Ravon. So I think I've only used this like 4 times in the last like 7 years. So let's say that I had this button and I wanted to fade out of existence. The 2 ways you can do that are the preferred way, which is render it twice, once with and once without, and then fade between those 2 in a post program. Or if you want to do it in SFM, there is kind of a way. So I'm going to go to this is the off button. No, I want to do this button. Actually, let's have our science button fade away. So I'm going to go into this button. I'm going to go to the materials. One of these is the one that I need. I'm guessing it's the one I already have some stuff with. So I'm going to go to add attribute. And again, this has to be a float to work. And I'm going to say alpha. And what alpha means is, again, 0 means invisible. So if I go to 1, it's 100% visible. If I go to 0.5, it's like transparent. So you can kind of see that I can see things through it. Let me move the button into a better spot for visibility. So yeah, so you can see now it's like semi-transparent. But it's going to be semi-transparent model. So you're going to be able to see like even into itself, multiple layered. But now, I want to actually have this look like it's like fading out of existence. So I'm going to go 1, and I'm just going to keep it there to begin with. So I'm going to right-click this. Or is it? No, right-click this one. So the actual top level. And I'm going to say create animation set for element. When I do that, it's going to come up with only the ones that it's going to let me potentially create an animation set for. And in this case, out of all the ones here, because this one's kind of a matrix and base texture is a string, I can't do anything for that. So it's going to only give me these ones. If you have multiple different float valued ones, it'll give you multiple. And it's going to say, what do you want your minimum and your maximum to be? In this case, 0 and 1. There's really nothing past 1, and there's nothing before 0, so that's fine. But for like Fong, you could go above 1. So I'm just going to click OK, and nothing's going to happen. You're not going to see anything, and it's going to be like, what the hell? And this originally what confused me about it. I'm like, well, I added it. Why can't I see it? For some reason, the only way to see a animation set you've created from a material is to turn off scene hierarchy. So right now I have all these like these DAGs that have been created from the groups that I wanted to keep things organized. If I turn off scene hierarchy, now I can see it at the very, very bottom. I don't know why that is, and I think it's really stupid, but if you want to work with them, you have to turn off scene hierarchy. So now if I go in here, you can actually see that there's the alpha value. Now, I actually have a slider. And you can have a fade out of existence. And if I wanted to that, I could have... Let's turn off audio there. If I want to have it go over time. So, the reason I don't like alpha is any alpha object starts treating things different. So here you can see as soon as I go past that value, suddenly everything just snaps into existence behind it, and some of the SSAO and other lighting and shadows are treated differently. So it's not a transition that's always going to be smooth. As soon as you go past that first little snap to this one, everything after that is pretty smooth all the way to disappearance. But it is a pretty nifty little tool to have that ability of adding an animation set to something like that. whatever, I'd saved it. I'm trying to think of any of the other, like the Fong boost and the Fong exponent. Those usually, by playing with those values, you can create sharper edged lighting, which can create something that looks either metallic or wet or matte. You can change those values to actually have it like suddenly have where somebody is shinier for some reason. Trying to think of any other way things to do that with. I have used that. I can't remember what it was for though. I think it was just for alpha, but I can't remember what aspect of. But anyway, but it's 9 o'clock, so I'm essentially done. Yeah, sometimes you just need to know what tools are there. So, I don't need that either. So yeah, that makes a stream. So, like I said, the recording will be up on the second channel, so hopefully within a day or two. I'll try to remember to do it as soon as I can. But I'm glad at least that you got that figured out. So, and if you ever have any questions or you got stuck on something, I stream every Tuesday and Friday. Well, almost every Tuesday and Friday. It's from 6 p.m. CET, so 3 hours ago. Till about 9 usually. And just let me know. I just played the Arden DLC for Final Fantasy 15, and Final Fantasy 15 is so goddamn good. So I did a Final Fantasy 15 wallpaper. So, alright. Well, anyways, have a good maybe week. Like I said, I'm not sure if I'm going to stream Friday just because of the... I want to see Pikachu. I gotta see Pikachu, man. And have the cat. So, okay. Have a good night, guys. See you later. Meow. Meow.